Oi. Hi everyone. Please let me know. Can you hear and see me? What is happening? I have a strange kind of pen here on the screen. Great, great. Thank you. That was actually the first time when I joined the tour and it worked out, so I don't have to go back, cancel it and then start it again. Great, great. I'm so glad that you could join me today, and we will wait for 2 more minutes and begin. Now I will find the good place in Belvedere. It's kind of the part of the Prague Gardens, beautiful summer palace of Queen Anna, and I will show you everything like during the tour around, but now I'm taking you to one of those beautiful views that couldn't be missed when you're visiting Prague Castle. I have never been here, like I've been here, I have never been here with you. Just twice when Hego was still alive, I was taking you here just when I came to Prague in the first tours, and this tour was called Metronome because we're not going to visit Metronome today. It's kind of a Soviet era monument, and I was talking about the heroes, Ukrainian heroes, but I was beginning from here, from them. From the gardens of the Prague Castle. And let me know how do you find the connection here, because I am kind of from the other side of the palace of Queen Anna, and here it's a little bit different. Hello Joanna, welcome to Prague again. So Joanna visited Prague last year, and I had the opportunity to meet her in person, and when I see like your names on the screen, the people whom I have met, it feels like I am saying hello to my friends. Hello and welcome to Prague. You know that my name is Olga and I am a tour guide from Kyiv, Ukraine. Currently I am in Prague, and I'm showing you today the kind of its premiere, the tour about Prague gardens in the Prague Castle. So what is our plan? Prague Gardens, that was actually the complex of gardens which were they were created in the 16th century by emperor he belonged to the dynasty of Habsburg. His name was Ferdinand I, and he decided to kind of expand Prague Castle. So we are behind the walls, and he was the first person who decided to, in 1537, he decided to make it bigger, and he went outside of the Prague Castle. And the uniqueness of the story is in fact that actually you can see the beautiful panoramic views of St. Vitus Cathedral and all of the premises of this huge castle complex. It's very beautiful. There are a few significant monuments. This is the Palace of Queen Anna. There is also a ball game hall, which is the big palace which was used for the kind of tennis game in the 16th century, and also a presidential house, because the president lived here during I don't remember, like during some period of time, and during that period of time the gardens were closed to the public. So we are going to have a relaxing tour today, because we will walk through the gardens. You will see beautiful flowers. You will hear a little bit of history of Habsburgs and of Prague, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. If you are enjoying the tour, there are 2 links on PayPal and on Buy Me a Coffee, and I'm super grateful to those of you who considering supporting me through my life, like in refuge. So if you have any questions about Ukraine, just let me know when we will be walking in the kind of in the botanical part of our tour, and I will be glad to answer them. join my YouTube channel, and please like the last video about the church in Odessa, about the grain deal that is important for me, because if you like the video, you give the chance to other people on YouTube to see it, and more people join me. You know, that was a revelation to me, but recently I discovered that a few people outside of Hego joined my YouTube channel, and they are enjoying the tours as well. So the world, I think, is open, and I had a lot of subscribers on Hego. Probably YouTube will be my next chance, and tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I will be posting the tour about the Independence Day in Ukraine, in Kyiv in 2022. Don't miss that out, and please come to my channel, and you will be able to see the Independence Day tour on Hego if you haven't seen it during the real Independence Day on the 24th of August 2022. Let's go. I'm flipping the camera, and I have the honor. So first of all, look at these gardens. We are not going to go there. They are dense, thick gardens. I'm kind of inside this Belvedere. Belvedere, it's something that has great views. It's not the most magnificent part, because we are kind of inside. But I'm going to show you one of the most beautiful views of the Prague castle. You can see Daliborka Tower. Can you see the Daliborka Tower? It's a little round tower here that was used as a prison, and the kind of the famous nobleman whose name was Dalibor, he was the first prisoner there. He wanted to give refuge to his kind of farmers who were rebellious against some kind of dynasties again. There was the turbulent history, and the emperor punished him. So he was the first prisoner of this Daliborka Tower. There was the prison for nobility, and he didn't use his time for vain. He decided to learn how to play the violin, and all the people were listening to this man, how he was learning how to play the violin during his imprisonment in Daliborka Tower. People began to bring him food and enjoy the wonderful music that was coming out from this Daliborka Tower. And one day, there was one occasion when the people couldn't hear the music coming from the Daliborka Tower. So that was the day when they understood that the sentence was fulfilled, and he was executed. A very sad moment, and this is the real story, how it is. Currently, there is the Museum of Tortures, and back then, later, it was used not just for the nobility, but as the prison for all the people. So you can see a moat, like the moat that is protecting the Prague castle from the enemies. You can see the St. Vitus Cathedral. You can see the Golden Lane, which is just behind this first wall. And you can see the beautiful Prague sky. For a week, there were kind of torrential rains. It was raining and raining and raining. And just a few moments ago, the rain stopped, and I can see even the blue skies. I think that is because I'm having my tour. The magic continues. I like to have magic during my Hego tours, and I feel like something is happening when I ask God to stop raining, because I have tour and it always happens. It's true. We are in the Royal Gardens. It's the very valuable castle complex. It was founded in 1534 by, as I already told you, Ferdinand I. He belonged to the Habsburg dynasty, and he was inspired by the Italian design. So he invited Italians to build this beautiful kind of place of retreat. That was the place where he would relax. He would have a great company with his wife. And I would working. Please let me know, guess, how do you think, how many kids did they have with Queen Anna? So this palace, it was summer palace of Queen Anna. Ferdinand I built exquisitely for her, especially for her. And now I'm going to show you how he is giving her the flower. So I give you the options. Did they have 3 kids, 10 kids, or 15 kids? How many kids did they have together? 3, 10, or 15? Here is the bas-relief, you can see, and it shows Ferdinand I giving a flower to Queen Anna. Exactly, Christine, you are absolutely right, 15 kids, and most of them lived the long lives, and they had they played a significant role in the Habsburg dynasty, and also in this dynasty marriages. You know why he had 15 children? Because he wanted to ensure that he will last forever, that this will be his the throne will belong to him always. Unfortunately, Queen Anna has never enjoyed this palace. You know, she died before the palace was completed. It was completed in 1560, and she died before that. It's not a surprise because she had 15 children. Probably she was kind of exhausted. I have 3 and she had 15. Probably, of course, she had servants. I don't have servants. So now you can see the gardens, which actually has different kind of floors. It has the signs of Renaissance, and it has the signs of the English gardens. So because the adaptation of the layout was made in the 19th century. So the main treasure is this palace of Queen Anna and a singing fountain. Singing fountain is just in front of ours. I will come closer in a second. Let's come to the palace of Queen Anna to enjoy it again. So what is famous for? This place is famous for the botanical species, for the exotic plants, because Ferdinand I wanted to have a fancy thing. He paid a lot of money and he wanted to have a lot of plants in his garden. So he brought exotic kind of citrus like lemons, apple tree, orange trees, different exotic plants from the distant countries around the world. And he decided to arrange these unique and beautiful plants here, and he decided to arrange everything with the fountains and with the statues, pretty statues. So he bought this place for his royal gardens from the vineyards, because back then people were growing kind of grapes for the wine here. And he decided to create everything for the entertainment. So all the buildings were serving they were serving the purpose for entertainment for the nobility. The Royal Summer Palace of the Queen, the ball game hall that we are going to see in a while, and the beautiful park. So he would come here and relax. Also, he invited the astrologists or astronomers, because the summer garden was used not just for Queen Anna and for the pretty wife, but also it was used for the astrologers who would put their equipment on the top of this palace. And I will now going further a little bit, and you will see from the distance that I will ask you, how do you think, what does it look like? What does it remind you, the shape of the roof of the palace of Queen Anna? So what does it remind you? This is the shape of the roof where the astronomical equipment was situated. So it's a place now where tourists can come and enjoy this kind of relaxation, an ocean of spring and summer. It's just close to the entrance to the Prague castle, and still it's just away from the crowds. UFO. So it was used, it looks like a boat, actually, like a huge ship, and that was the idea of Ferdinand, to build it like a ship. So in the 16th century, these royal gardens were built by the Habsburgs. What the Habsburgs were famous for the fact that they ruled the world. They also invented forks, invented compulsory schooling, and invented these marriages. See the image, buffering, okay. Signal dropped, okay. Back now, okay. So I was please let me know, can you see now? Signal seems better here, okay. So that is the singing fountain. I will try from my second phone to connect to YouTube and see what is the kind of picture. And you please let me know, are you satisfied? Can I continue, or I need to find the better spot? I don't have internet connection on my other phone. Okay, I can see that you see something, yes. So you see there is the devil. So that is the devil, the face of the devil at the bottom of the fountain. And the devil has got breasts like boobs. Probably this is the reason why we couldn't see, because there is the devil. So this is this Baroque singing fountain. Ferdinand knew how to spend money, and he decided just to build the biggest architectural gem. I try to find out, can you hear and see me? Because probably the signal is dropping when I am coming closer to that fountain. Wanted to show it to you in close up. Sound and video are good? Okay, I will try again. So the gardens are very fancy now, and he decided to spend a lot of money for that beautiful garden. And here he decided to create this beautiful fountain. It has a lot of different elements, and why it was called singing, because there was the water coming from the upper part, and when you should put the ear close to the brim, to the edge of the fountain, and then you will hear the sounds. Now the water is not kind of, the fountain is not operating, so it's not singing, but it's the beautiful Renaissance bronze singing fountain, and the melody was very kind of soft. Let's look at the devil at the bottom. If I lose the signal, please let me know. So the place is really relaxing, stunning, and we can see the history through these beautiful gardens, the history of the kings and colors of Prague spring. I will ask you once again, please write me once again, can you see and hear me, because my second phone doesn't show me any connection, so I'm a little bit worried if I'm speaking to myself or not. Yes, okay, great. Okay, so that is how the summer palace looks again. And now we are going into the botanical gardens because we have spent a lot of time here already. When we are walking here, you feel like the aristocratic vibes because aristocracy would have the balls here. They would organize different events during the different parts of the history. And this has always been a spectacular garden. For those who joined later, I will show you again the Daliborka Tower and the moat that separates the royal gardens from the Prague Castle complex. Officially, this is the part of Prague Castle complex. And now I'm going to show you the grounds, how they beautifully maintained, manicured. There are different types of trees. Actually, Ferdinand I wanted to plant 42 different types of trees, and when you are walking, like you see the pine trees of different kinds with different needles, like the ordinary trees with normal leaves, and in different parts of the year the garden looks differently. Especially I like it, you won't believe me, in winter when it's covered with snow. Sometimes like it's not always open in winter, but once I catch it in winter, and it's also beautiful. Look, it's like a forest in the middle of the city. So there are plants all around me, and there are a few hidden gems that we are going to discover. We are going to go to the presidential residence and to the ball game hall. My favorite part is to look at St. Vitus Cathedral from different points of this gardens, and you always can feel this Italian influence because Ferdinand I, he was inspired by the Italian vibes. He wanted to be a modern, progressive ruler. It's very pleasant to walk around. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to have picnics. I have noticed once that tourists wanted to like have beer or a drink, something. It's not allowed. There are guards. You can see this botanical kind of explanations here close to the trees, and it's not allowed even to step on the grass here. So they will probably not at once, but they will approach you and tell that it is prohibited. We are coming now to the second part of the garden to see the different fountains, sculptures, and the flowers, because you see it's not now it's not very rich in flowers. This part is kind of a passage from the summer residence built from Queen Anna to the like to this ball game hall. Here on the way we can see the greenhouses. I will show you the greenhouse now. You can go to another level and behind the trees you will find the entrance to the greenhouses, and you will you can pay I think €1 that was last year, and you can see some kind of exotic plants in the greenhouse because they are not, you see, it's very romantic. Probably I'm walking too fast. I will be slowing down a little bit because it's also very beautiful here. I think it looks really glorious when it is summer morning and when you come here and there are no tourists. So this is the greenhouse. It lasts up to that ball game hall. Thank you for writing me about the signal. So again, we're very, very close to the moat. You can see the green spires of St. Vitus Cathedral. And now it's not very sunny because I told you it's been raining for a week here in Prague. But still Absolutely beautiful. It's a popular place for the wedding photo sessions, and this garden is like equally and differently beautiful in different seasons, because in autumn, when everything is kind of, the leaves are red and yellow, it's also beautiful. Now I'm taking you to the unique building, because they left it like the pure Renaissance building. That ball game hall wasn't transformed, and they actually didn't change the style, and they didn't shade anything. They decided to maintain this graffito in the natural form, and they kind of fix the graffito and every 20 years. But it's very seldom that in Europe you can find pure Renaissance building, and now you are going to see it. So now we have entered the part of the garden which is kind of has more flowers. It will be more brighter. It will be brighter, and usually there are peacocks. Now because of the rain, the peacocks are flying somewhere else. Welcome to the enchanting world of another side of the Prague castle. When I'm walking here, I always think about the time when everything was created. It was created in the 16th century, and everything was done for the entertainment of the royal people. So that is the ball game hall. I will stop here for a few seconds so you can admire. It's very long, it's very beautiful, so it's like a covered tennis court. These emperors who ruled from here, emperors of Bohemia, they wanted to, why they were living here, not in Vienna, because it was kind of convenient for them to rule from the Czech lands from here, and they were also ruling the other lands. And they decided to live here in Prague rather than in Vienna, and for some period of time that was a traditional seat of Habsburgs. And Prague became, during this era when they were building this complex 16th, 17th century, that city, Prague, it became kind of strategically very important and significant for the Kingdom of Bohemia. And now I'm coming to the sculpture which is called the Knight, and it belongs to the 18th century, 17 something, I think 1740s. So there were two of them. This one is called the Knight, and there was the other one which was called the Day, and that was ruined in some kind of war. But also interesting that it is standing for so many centuries just outside and nothing is happening to it. It's called Ball Game Hall or Ball Game Pavilion. Absolutely exquisitely designed building, and the kind of the true sign of the Renaissance. But Soviets, when they were ruling this place, they changed a little bit. I don't have the function here to zoom, but I will come closer, guys, and I will tell you the funny story. So just at the top of this ball game pavilion, there are two ladies, and the Soviets, you know, when they are coming, they always want to add a hammer and a sickle. You remember what is happening now in Kiev. So today they finally changed the emblem, Soviet emblem, the hammer and the sickle, on the Motherland Monument. There is a huge statue in Ukraine. It's called Motherland Monument. It is standing from the Soviet era, the symbol of the World War II, and she is holding a shield. And on the shield there is a hammer and the sickle. And Yesterday they were like remodeling it, renovating it. They took away the hammer and the sickle and put Ukrainian emblem, trident. It was very important for us. People paid a lot of money for that project. That was very controversial. A lot of people were against changing it now during the war because hundreds of drones could be bought for that money. But Soviets, when they came here, they draw the hammer and the sickle here in the sgraffito. And now I will come closer and I will show. This is the only element that was changed. So hammer and the sickle on the 16th century ball game pavilion. Let's come closer and you will see it. So can you see the lady over there, like on the very top? And she is holding something. So there was nothing. According to Ferdinand, there was nothing. She wasn't holding anything. And Soviets, like, because Communist Party was ruling here from the 1948 till 1989 for 40 years, they drew a hammer and a sickle, even here on the on this ball game pavilion. Please write me if you can see that the lady is holding a hammer and a sickle. So it's a beautiful place to come and to admire the flowers and the beautiful, just a beautiful moment of life. It's kind of oasis in the very touristic Prague. And I like to come here before the tours. Usually before the tours. I can't come here after the tours because I usually finish them because they close the garden at 7. Ferdinand the first, he was not like, people welcomed him, but he was a Catholic, and the Czech lands, they were anti-Catholic, so he had some difficulties. There was 30 years war, so there were a lot of there was turbulent time when he was ruling these lands, but still he made such a great impact to the beauties of the city, building this beautiful Renaissance garden for his wife. So here we are. Now we are going to explore the secret corner because I'm going to show you one of the most beautiful places where the photographers are coming to take the pictures of Prague Castle. It's hidden behind the trees, and then we will explore also the flowers and the other part of the garden. So you see there is the entrance, and sometimes they open this ball game hall for the wine festivals. Just once in my life I was here. I'm here for 1 year already. I have seen this place open, and it is magnificent. So inside, when you go, you will see the kind of the tiles. They are black and white. And it's strikingly beautiful, just very spacious inside and beautiful for different events. I think it's a great kind of signature of the dazzling period while they were ruling this land, I mean the Habsburgs. And of course, I like this graffito technique. It's very simple, you know, this graffito technique, it has very simple and very beautiful because you have a lot of different designs, you have a lot of different motifs. They could be floral or geometrical, or you can have the scenes, like the stories are told like on the upper side of the building, but still very unusual and beautiful. So you can see now the presidential summer residence. It's kind of the building which was used by the president of Czech Republic since the 1948 till the 1980. 89, and that is why during this period of time these gardens, they were closed, so you couldn't enter them, and they were used just for the president. President used to live here up to the 1998. And you know what is below this building? There are a lot of corridors. They were dug to connect this presidential residency to the castle complex, because in the castle complex there is the office of the president where he works, and here he used to live. These corridors could be used as the shelters, for example, during the war with Russia. I always compare, like, in Czech Republic they have the great bunker, like just below the St. Vitus Cathedral they have the great bunker in, against the nuclear explosion, and the president has got a lot of corridors to hide and to connect himself with different places. Today I saw the advertisement of the English school in Ukraine, in Kyiv, and you know what they were advertising? The way that the school has got bomb shelter. Could you imagine, like, the school is advertising like they have the spare toilet, they have the all kinds of I don't know, medical kits, and now you are rewarded with the best view of the Prague Castle. Thank you for your patience, thank you for your payments, thank you for your tips, thank you for those of you who are sending me the tips and trying to help me. It's not sunny now, but look, when I'm standing like this, I can create beautiful frame with the different shrubs and St. Vitus Cathedral and the Powder Tower. So it's one of the most beautiful views. Actually, the second one, so the first one I showed you with the Daliborka Tower, and then I will show you the third. So today we have 3 best views of the Prague Castle. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, people are hiding. No, I am continuing. Thank you so much. You don't disturb me. Thank you. They were so polite. So they were people. They heard that I was speaking, and they just decided to hide and not to disturb me. You know, it's some. I really feel this in Europe. Everywhere people are very polite. They tell, excuse me, please come, and you can, you're welcome. Like this simple polite words, they are told easily. They are told with a smile, and this like what makes it a little bit different from Ukraine. And especially, for example, when I was traveling in France, if people are smiling, everywhere people are smiling. But I can't blame Ukrainians for the fact that they are gloomy, because so many deaths, so many tragedies, and we don't know when it's going to happen. Okay, this was the presidential office, and now I'm going to show you another site, and then I'm going to show you another part of the gardens, because we have still a couple of, like, they're closing at 7, and it's not, local time is 6:35. For example, you can see different pine trees, and there were the lilac shrubs. In spring it looks beautiful, and in this corner you have a lot of I would say magnolia blossoming. So the kinds of botanical like species, it's really great here. And when you come here, you see the like different types of flowers in blossom. And in spring, this is the most amazing place, because the scent of flowers, the chirping of birds, the tourists who are walking here, and the great walls of the Prague Castle. And that is the third view that I promised you to show. Great view. Look here. It's you can see here clearly the St. Vitus Cathedral, how long it is. It resembles a little bit the this cathedral in Vienna. Also the same patterns on the roofs and the Gothic spires. I like when the sky is so different above the St. Vitus Cathedral, when it is not strikingly blue, for example, but when there are clouds, it just shows how it's kind of majestic. Guys, are you here? Please let me know what do you think about today's views. I think it is one of the picturesque tours that I can offer for you, and I'm so happy that today I'm showing you something new. A little bit like we're exploring Prague Castle, but from the different perspective. We are just 100 steps away from the entrance, but there is a huge moat in front of ours, and of course bears lived here. And bears were used as a protection for the castle complex. I have to go back a little bit to show you more of Renaissance statues and of the flower beds. I think that aristocracy back then, they had this kind of taste for having the great places, for building the great places. Because this garden offers outstanding views to the old castle complex, and there are so many trees around me. There are spacious lawns all around, and now we are going to see the flowers which were kind of planted after the tulips. So when you are coming here in spring, you can see one type of flowers, and then they change them a little bit. So I'm walking again past this pavilion for, I could say, tennis, for the games like they were playing. It's, you know, some people are calling it badminton. They were throwing the ball through the net or through the rope with their hands, and then later with the bat. And then they were doing that in the 16th century. So Ferdinand I wanted to be fancy, and he wanted to also implement this kind of new kind of sports. I like the view from here with these balls. It's so beautiful. So let's enjoy the last part of our today's tour. That is one of the fountains. It's not working. I don't know why they save the water, probably. I know why it's not working, because it's raining. It's like there is no need to use water. Oh, Polyby, you know, I'm I want to make the video about that lilac tour, and I'm trying to find the quotes. I want to feel it, because I know that you're all my friends. Please drop me your ideas. What would you think would be appropriate what I can add to that lilac tour? For example, when I'm walking along the lilac garden in Kiev, and it's not just fun like when you're watching on YouTube, like music and silence. There is nothing like just lilac shrubs and silence. My idea was to use some kind of quotes, or probably Ukrainian poems translated into English, but with some special meaning. So how do you see it? What would be good ideas to make the lilac tour more beautiful and like more emotional, I could say? Because people can't smell the lilacs, but probably they can feel Ukraine through these lilacs. So we are coming to this huge fields of flowers. Now you can feel here that you are really in some kind of botanical garden, royal gardens, because in front of you will see these carpets of the flowers of different shapes. And that is the kind of the entrance from the Prague Castle. So we began with the Palace of Queen Anna, and Palace of Queen Anna was the kind of latest point of the of the gardens. It's very beautiful. Here there are different colors of the flowers. Your soldier poems were very emotional. Yes, Diana, soldier poems, I will use like the background for soldier poems will be actually the soldiers. I will try to make this separate videos on that. And let's do a little bit of framing. Look here, the Baroque statues with the crown, and you can see the flowers in between. How do you like that? I like that framing. I like in Prague that from time to time they open these palaces for the ordinary public. For example, yesterday I was visiting Liechtenstein Palace. Yes, you have to stay in line for a couple of hours because I am not the only one who wanted to see Liechtenstein Palace inside. In Prague, sometimes they open museums or different galleries or kind of governmental institutions for people, and people can come, like wait in line, but still see what is inside. So yesterday I was visiting Liechtenstein Palace, and I was visiting it's called governmental state building, so where the Czech government is ruling. It's also in a huge complex with a fountain. So probably I'm filming so much and I am not making videos on YouTube because I don't know, such a turbulent period of time. I'm trying to find the right accommodation for my kids now, because I don't know what will happen on the 1st of September. Where they are going to live and where they are going to study. So it's kind of a field, another field of beautiful flowers that really shows you that you are in the royal gardens. Customs, clothing, way of life, food, glorious food, borscht. In Ukraine, recipes have any low-fat ones? Haha, no. Yes, we have. We can find something low, but you know, Ukrainian food is not about low like calorie diet. It's about heavy fat diary. But we have uzvar compot, like we can boil some fruits and they will not have so much calories. You mean customs and clothing and way of life of Ukraine? Because it's better, of course, to shoot, for example, in Ukraine. I'm walking along the streets, I'm showing you how people are wearing, what people are wearing, how they live, what they can buy in the supermarkets during the war. So if you're meaning the things about Ukraine, I should go back home. That is the presidential house from another side, and you know, Prime Minister just lives very close. Prime Minister lives at the end of this garden where the Palace of Queen Anna is. You just go outside and you will find the Prime Minister's house, so very close. And we're finishing our tour and the rain has started, so finally I have made it. Let's go and I will take you closer to the Prague Castle to show you the moat. It's called, I think, Powder Bridge, and I will show you another beautiful view and find somewhere the shelter. Please let me know if you have any other ideas. What would you like to see and to hear from me? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sending me your tips and just supporting me, coming here to support me. So there is the guard, and you have like previously you had to show your bags, and you would be checked like you are checked in the airplane before your boarding. But now they, I don't know, they decided to simplify the rules, and now you don't have to show up your bag, but the guard is still standing here, and the gardens are open up to 7, and the whole Prague Castle complex is open up to 10 p.m. Your interviews on Charles Bridge were okay, Diana. So you know what? Oh, thanks, Olga. I like Charles Bridge. That was lovely, though. You mean Charles Bridge not about the statues, but about, like, when I'm asking people about Ukraine. It's a good idea. Now I will post the video when I was asking people in Vienna. And I found out that not all people are happy and kind of very friendly when I stop them and begin to ask about Ukraine, because I'm not asking like the question, for example, I'm not asking, oh, hi, I'm a tour guide. How do you like Prague? Do you like this Charles Bridge? What do you think about this statue? How many beers do you drink here? And how many trudeliks have you eat? What influenced you the most? No, I'm asking them about the war. I'm asking them like, what do you think will happen in the future? Will Ukraine lose? What will happen if Ukraine lose? How can we help? What does Putin want from Ukraine? So I'm asking them their questions, and sometimes they have very different opinions. And sometimes I'm very disappointed after the tours, because I find out that sometimes people just, yes, it's not the probably fault of people, but we are living with this, like we are holding our hand on the pulse every single day. I know what is happening to my house, to my city. I know what was ruined this day, and people just don't know about this. Such atrocities are happening. Like the Russians are just demolishing everything, all the very important these cities which are too close to the front line. They don't exist now. The houses are ruined, the people are tortured. What they're doing to the soldiers, what they're doing to the people who are under the occupation. And every single day people are suffering from the bombings. And the world is living their life, so they really don't care, they don't follow this news, they don't, as they call it, like in our language, we hold the hands on pulse, which means that I always check the interviews, I always check the news. It's what I live with. And people just don't know about this because the bombs are not falling. For example, now counteroffensive is ongoing. And Russians are very aggressive when we are conquering our territories back, when we are, you see, there was the story about the tank and about the ship. So we hit Ukrainian special military forces, hit the tank and the ship. And they decided like to have this retaliation. So today at night, they sent 70 different kind of missiles to us, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, kinjals, like daggers, 37 drones. This is how they take revenge because of the ship and the tank that Ukraine just hit. And you know what? These ships and these tanks, they are on our Ukrainian territory, and they are, so these are legitimate targets, military targets for us, and they are harming us. Like they bring the fuel for those kind of things, for those ships from where they send the rockets to our skies. Zero hedge. Moscow airport is closed temporarily due to failed drone attack, I just read. Probably, Lily, Moscow airport is closed, but you know, we are not sleeping for more than a year, and our airport is closed up to the end of the war. So if, for example, Russians would experience what we are experiencing, they begin to like react and scream, oh, how, one drone? And they send, like every day, they're killing so many Ukrainian civilians, and it's okay. But just one drone hit their building in Moscow. Oh, it's a terroristic attack. Oh my gosh, it's a big terroristic attack. But what has been done to Ukrainian cities? They are all demolished. Like in Mariupol, 50,000 people are dead. It's not terroristic attack. they are very, very, very sensitive when something happens to them, and they make a lot of news about their airport, but like our airports are ruined in many cities. It's heavy rain now. I am showing you the beautiful view of the Prague castle and just running to the shelter. Can you see? I will hide myself below this kind of entrance to the Prague Castle complex, because it is very, very, like the rain, the heavy rain is starting. Thank you for reading the news, because I know that you are coming to my tours. You know that I'm from Ukraine. Now you will tell me, how is it running with the gimbal? Is it shaky or not? Because I'm running. Great. We can continue right here. I am in the passage. It's kind of echo, and when I will be talking, people everywhere will hear me. I will try to find somewhere to say my goodbyes to you. So that is the square that sometimes I'm showing it to you. That is the presidential administration. This is where the president is working, and these are the offices. They are not for the tourists. And oh, thank you, Anna, for buying me a coffee. There is a notification that Anna has bought me a coffee. Thank you so much for coming, and I will go and create more tours for you. Probably I will be concentrating more on videos, because but I will have one tour. I will have 1 week, one tour. This is obligatory. If I go back to Ukraine, I will try to tell you more about Ukrainian customs, traditions, and our style, a life of style, how we live and what we do. But currently it's a very dangerous moment to come back, because the counteroffensive is not over, and we don't know what are the plans of Putin if he understands that he is losing. The world, I think the whole world knows that he has already lost. But it's not like he doesn't accept that, and he's going to continue this war as long as he has the resources, and he has got a lot of resources for that. He has got a lot of men, more than 100 million men, to continue doing that to Ukraine, and we don't know what is going to be next when it's finished. Also, we don't have we have just one hand to fight. We are fighting with our one hand tied, because we cannot attack all the things inside Russia. When we have your equipment, we just can use it on our territory. Paraguayan. I don't know what is Paraguayan. Hit the like button, everyone. Thank you so much, Diana, following every day on you truthful news sites. We're impressed that the counteroffensive is moving slowly. Yes, it is moving slowly, and I can't say that we are avoiding many deaths. We want to save our men, of course, but the way how the Russian protection system is built, it's not allowing us to sometimes to really progress, and a lot of people are dying, unfortunately. For example, when the Russians are using the drones and they built the whole factory, the whole production of the drones. With these drones, they can kill like 10 of our soldiers in one hit, and they can they can hit also the very expensive equipment that we got from the West. That is why we need the drones. I call it, like our specialists call it, the war of drones. Thank you so much, Colleen, for buying me coffee. Thank you. Thank you. no one over 18 can leave Ukraine. It's true, no man, yes. Women are allowed to leave Ukraine, but all men of so-called fighting age, yes, starting from 18 and till they're 65, they cannot leave Ukraine. So we need this, we need this equipment, we need these drones, because this is going to be a smart war. If we follow the patterns, if we follow the methods, how Russians are doing this war, only with the man force, with the shelling, with the piling their dead bodies on ours. We don't have so many people to die. We don't have so many soldiers to die and to sacrifice their lives. So if sometimes people are saying that war is mathematics, if we just count, we might lose. Sometimes it is hard, like everybody is talking about the victory, but we need to remember that the history is unpredictable, and we don't know what will what is going to happen in future. And it might happen that the outcome of this war is not so victorious as we want it to be. Unfortunately, this is the truth. There are so many Russians who want to fight and who is going to go and die in Ukrainian fields. We don't have so much manpower, so many people, and that is why we need to lead a smart war. And this is the equipment and the armory that you are sending to us is the only way how we can lead this smart war. Yes, exactly. Men with 3 children can. This is right, Lily. A man who have 3 and more kids, they are allowed to leave. And you know, the invalids, the handicapped. But there are so many interesting videos now in Ukraine. When, for example, one mother comes with her son to this kind of recruitment office, and her son is absolutely he cannot walk properly. He's invalid from the beginning of his life. He has a lot of these papers confirming that he cannot walk, he cannot talk properly. And in Ukraine, like this, in commission, in medical test commission, they are writing to him like he is quite okay for the service in the army. He is I don't know, he falls under their ordinary rules of this conscription, and it's quite okay. Then the mother, of course, goes further and shows her son he even can't go to the toilet by himself. She uses a bucket every night to help him to go to the toilet, and it's not possible for him to hold the rifle or something else. And sometimes, even in Ukraine, when we are talking that, we try to follow all the rules, to save our soldiers. Sometimes such things are happening, and this is happening because we need more and more men. And these commissions, the commissions who are accepting the soldiers, sometimes they can accept everyone, just everyone, to serve in the army, which is not good. But this is war, and we don't know what population we'll have in a couple of years, and if it continues. So it's raining. See you next time, and I'm so grateful to those of you who are trying to help me to survive while I'm a refugee here. Thank you 1,000 times. If you can send me €1, €2 by PayPal, it's okay. And as far as I know, the minimum amount on Buy Me a Coffee is $5. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Jane, for buying me coffees. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who is not forgetting about me. So see you on my YouTube channel, and please hit notification button not to miss the Independence Day tour that I am about to download today or tomorrow morning. Meet you in Prague next week. I don't know what I will be showing you, but something I will show. Thank you, everyone. A lot of Kisses, hugs, and a lot of love from rainy, rainy capital of Czech Republic. Goodbye, my dear. Goodbye. Love you all. Goodbye. Yes, Lily. So for me, the most difficult situation is with the kids, with the kids, because it's not like they are not allowed to stay full time, 7 days a week in this hotel, like hostel for the students in the dormitory, and this is the problem, to pay for the accommodation, and they are just 15. It means that I will have to stay with them for 3 years at least in Czech Republic, because I am not allowed to leave the country and leave them alone here. Or I have to, how would say, I don't know, custody, or I have to kind of find some kind of custody. Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Jana, for tipping. Thank you. It's impossible situation. Yes, I have to find the accommodation for them for the weekends, and also I have to find some foster parents. Thank you and love you all. You will see how the situation develops. You know, you are the part of the story. You are a part of my life, and you will see everything on this YouTube channel. Be sure that you will see everything. Goodbye, my dear. Love you all. This is life. The life of all Ukrainians, and it is very, very tough. It's not easy. We don't have home here now, when people can go home from this place. I don't have home. Like I have some kind of rent apartment, but I don't feel that I have home. Thank you and love you all. See you in a week, or on my YouTube channel if you check the videos and hit notification button. Yes, you will see how the situation develops for one refugee just on the screen, like, you know, the show. These are the shows that are happening. What is happening to the people online? So this is my life for you. Love you all and goodbye, guys. Please let me know if you are not from Hago. How have you found me on YouTube? It's interesting to know new people. Love you all and see you next week. Goodbye. Yes, look for the Independence Day tour. I will post it today. Not post, but upload. Goodbye.